Hello. So I put together a 20-minute mobility and stretching session that you can do any time of day. Although I would recommend doing something like this before exercise or after exercise. Anytime. This can be done as many times a week as you'd like. This should feel really good. There shouldn't be any pain involved with any of the moves that we do today. And I will be offering some modifications along the way, just in case anybody watching has any shoulder modifications or even hip or knee limitations. I should be able to address all of that. And this really should be accessible for anybody. I should say almost anybody at any time. So I hope you enjoy it and I hope this adds to your life. Here we go. We're going to start on all fours. Have your wrists come just below your shoulders, your knees just below those hips. And I want you to take a big inhale in. And as you inhale, your belly drops, your tailbone points straight up, and you pull your chest through your shoulders. And then on your exhales, you're going to round your back, chin to chest, aiming that tailbone straight down. Inhale, belly drops. Big, deep inhale. Pull your chest through your shoulders. And exhale, round it out, chin to chest. And I want you to just find the rhythm of your own breath and link it to this movement. We're here for a total of a minute. We have a little less than 30 seconds left here. This should feel really, really good. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Find a neutral spine here. And I want you to bring your left foot out to the side of you. Your foot is flat on the ground. And we're just going to push back onto that right heel and then come through center. If you'd like, you can curl those right toes under. If you need a little bit less of a range of motion for any knee pain, otherwise, go ahead and put the top of that foot on the ground and you're just going to rock your hips back. Feel that nice stretch all along the inside of that left thigh and then come on up through center. We have another 20 seconds left on this side. These are called hip rocks. And I like to link my breath to my movement with this as well. So I exhale as I push myself back and inhale to come up. We're going to go 3, 2, 1. Good. Come on through center. We're going to switch. If you need to shake out those wrists, go ahead and shake out those wrists. And then come on right back down. You're going to bring your right leg out. I'll turn myself around here. Bring your right leg out. Foot is flat on the ground. And then you're just going to push those hips back. Feel that nice stretch all along your right inner thigh this time. And then come on up. Remember, you can always curl those left toes under. So you just have a little bit less of a way to travel. And that's if you're having any knee pain at all in that bent knee. I'm going to go for another 30 seconds here. Let this just feel really, really good. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Come on through center. Let's shake out those wrists. We're going to stay on all fours for just a couple more moments. What I want you to do is I want you to press your big toes together And widen those knees out so they're about as wide as your yoga mat. We're going to walk your hands forward and simultaneously drop your hips back towards your heels. And just nestle here, kind of rock your hips a little bit back and forth. And then when you're ready, come on up for a beat and then push it right back. We're continuing this rocking motion. So we're not holding stretches, they're a little bit more dynamic. And I like this child's pose rock, especially if you have a lot of tightness in your hips, in your inner thighs. You get that little, just brief break, that little relief moment as you come out of it. We got 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, come back into that quadruped position. You have your wrists right underneath those shoulders, knees right underneath those hips. And I want you to just bring your right foot back, curl your toes under, and we're just going to rock back and forth here for about 30 seconds. It should feel like a nice stretch in your calf. No pain. I like to also put a little bit of pressure in my toes here so that I get a stretch in the bottom of my foot as well. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Same exact thing. And you may find that one side feels tighter than the other side, and that's totally normal. Big, deep inhales here. Relax those shoulders. If you find that you've put any tension into those shoulders, you can just release that. 5, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, let's shake out those wrists. Why don't you grab a sip of water wherever you are? And let's make our way onto our backs. Set up my little timer here. Okay. On your back, I like to just settle in. Sometimes lying on the floor can feel really, really good. So just give yourself a moment to enjoy what that feels like. Take any tension out of your shoulders. Take any tension out of those hips. And when you're ready, you're just going to bring your right knee to your chest. And I want you to clasp just below your knee. Clasp your hands together. We're not forcing anything. You're just going to let the weight of your arms and gravity pull your knee towards you. We're just going to breathe here for a second. Release the tension in your hips again. Release any tension in your shoulders. And just hold. We're going to do a couple of ankle circles in one direction. So go ahead and do that. Pick a direction. Roll that ankle around. And then switch directions. Good. Find stillness here. Relax that foot. Let it kind of flop down. Take one more deep breath here. And then I want you to take your left hand and you're going to gently guide that right knee all the way over across the body, over towards the left side. And your right shoulder is going to want to start to come up. And what I want to encourage you is to bring that right shoulder back down to the mat. And maybe that means you don't bring your knee over quite as far, right? Maybe you're not all the way over here. Maybe your knee is up here. Try and keep that right shoulder on the ground. Find that spot where you're not going to go any further. And I want you to just relax here. You can cactus that right arm. You'll feel a nice stretch in your chest and the front of your shoulder there. And you can look over that right shoulder. It should feel like a nice, somewhat intense, yet easy stretch for that lower back and for that right hip. We're going to hold this for another 30 seconds. You can close your eyes here. Relax your face. Relax those eyeballs back into their sockets. And just enjoy. 10 more seconds. Now, on your next exhale, I want you to use that exhale and come up through center and then straighten that right leg down. We're going to do the same stretches on the left side. So go ahead and bring your left knee up to your chest. You're going to clasp your hands just below that knee. And we'll start with just letting gravity draw that knee towards you. You'll also feel a stretch in that right hip flexor, the leg that's straight on the ground. You might feel a little stretch there if you're tight in your hip flexors. But just let the weight of your arms and gravity draw that knee towards you. And when you're ready, we'll start to draw those circles with your foot, doing some ankle circles in one direction. And when you're ready, switching directions. And then find some stillness here. Relax any tension in your hips, in your belly, in your shoulders. Just let yourself melt into the mat a little bit here. Let's take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, take your right hand and gently guide that left knee all the way over towards the right side of your body. That left shoulder is going to want to pop off the mat. Try and keep contact with the mat here. Practice that left elbow. Let it rest on the ground. Enjoy that stretching your chest and your shoulder. And when you're as far as you'd like to get into this stretch, go ahead and look over that left shoulder and just breathe. We're going to be here for another 45 seconds. Big, deep breaths. You may feel a pop. You may feel like your back gives a little bit here and there, but that's okay. As long as this is not painful, just enjoy. On your next exhale, I want you to come through center and go ahead and straighten that left leg down. All right, take a deep breath. take a big exhale. And then you're going to plant your left foot on the ground, cross your right ankle over that left knee, and then just bring your legs toward you. Maybe you have a lot of tightness in that right hip and you just hold the outside of that right thigh and the outside of that right foot. And maybe that's where you are today. That's just fine. You should feel a nice stretch in your hip. Maybe you can clasp your hands behind that left thigh and draw your legs towards you a little bit. Whatever you do, I just don't want your head, neck, and shoulders up. I would like for you to keep your head, neck, and shoulders down and just breathe into this stretch. This is a really, really good hip opener. If you have any lower back pain, a lot of the time it has something to do with some tightness in your hips. Not all the time, but a lot of the time it does. And this is a really good hip stretch. Therefore, it's a really good stretch for your lower back as well. And we're just going to breathe here. We've got another 30 seconds. Relax those shoulders. I know you're holding on to that leg, but you can still take any tension out of those shoulders. Good. Go ahead and release that foot down, and we're going to switch. Plant your right foot, crossing that left ankle over your right knee. Reach through that figure four, or you're grabbing the outside of that thigh and the outside of that foot. And you're just going to draw your legs toward you, feeling a nice stretch in that left thigh. And we're just going to breathe here. We've got another 45 seconds. And close your eyes. When you breathe in through your nose and you breathe out through either your nose or your mouth, you're turning on your parasympathetic nervous system, which is not fight or flight. That's your sympathetic nervous system. And we want to switch on that parasympathetic nervous system whenever we can. That's the rest and digest system. That's letting your body know everything is okay. There's no emergency. We can repair. We can digest. We can take it nice and easy. And when you can take those nice, long, deep breaths through your nose and nice, long exhales, either through your nose or through your mouth, it switches that system on. Good. Go ahead and relax that leg down, dropping that other foot. And what we're going to do here is we're going to come onto our side. I'm going to come onto my right side. Let me move this out of the way. And what I want you to do is I want you to keep that bottom leg straight. And I want you to bend that top knee, bringing that top knee to the ground. So it's kind of like you're lying in your bed. We're going to alligator your hands together right at about shoulder height, and then relax your head down on the ground. Once you're in this position, I want you to imagine you have a bow and arrow, and you're pulling that arrow back all the way back until you outstretch that top arm. And the goal is to get that shoulder blade to the ground. Mine is not even close. But maybe one day that shoulder will come flat to the ground. And then we're gonna half moon that arm without knocking my water bottle over back to that bottom hand. And we're gonna do this for a minute. You're gonna pull that imaginary arrow back in the bow and then half moon your arm over your head. – Let's go for another 45 seconds here. keeping contact with that top knee on the ground. I'm going to move my water bottle because it's inevitable that I will knock it over. This is a really nice stretch, not only for your chest and for your upper body, but you should feel like this is a really nice stretch for your lumbar and your thoracic spine as well. 15 more seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Good. And switch sides. I'm going to turn so that my back is not towards you. But all you've got to do is roll over. And we're going to do the same. So my left leg is straight. My right knee is bent. That knee is on the ground. I'm going to alligator those hands together. Relax my head on the ground. Pulling back that arrow. My right shoulder is even further from the ground than my left. And that's okay. One day, maybe one day. And then bring those hands back together. We're here for another 45 or so seconds. Close your eyes. Really enjoy this. Let's go for 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. From here, just bring both knees together. You're still on your side. Use that top arm to push you up into a seated position, whatever is comfortable for you, whether that's crisscross or your legs are out in front of you. And just take a moment, take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Relax those shoulders. One more deep breath in. One more big exhale out. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope your body feels good. I hope you feel like you've created a little bit more space. And like I said earlier, you can do this anytime, really anywhere. You don't need any equipment at all, just your body and a mat if you'd like, but you don't even need that. So I hope you are blessed and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.